AM 1170, The Answer.
Welcome back. You are listening to Whissel Wednesdays here on AM 1170, The Answer. My name is Kyle Whissel, your host. Before the break, we were talking with David Troisi, Audio Video San Diego. If you got any audio video needs, whether for your home or your office, like I've used David for, he helps set the Whissel Realty Santee office up with our network set up, our music set up, all of that stuff. If you're interested in talking to David, would love to get you connected. 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355.
Good job, Dave.
Good job.
And who am I? You going to call me the LA Charger homer?
No, you
nice.
are.
Because I was ready.
You are.
I got this button ready now for you on the boo.
The ultimate Soccer City fan, Mr. Jason Hall, Team Home Loans. Jason, last week when we were on the show, we were projecting what was going to happen after the Fed made their announcement.
Because we tape our show just a few hours before the Fed made the announcement. We usually tape it Wednesday mid-morning.
Record it. We don't tape anything anymore.
You're right. Record.
See,
sorry, man.
I told you,
he loves
David.
to correct
He still
Dave,
thinks
right?
it's on tape.
You know, whatever they do here.
Yeah, we don't get a pencil and turn it.
Paul does this amazing job for us. We talked about, hey, yes, the Fed's going to raise rates. That's what we projected. We thought it would happen. And I called it, hey, she's going to raise rates and mortgage rates are going to drop. They dropped a 0.5 point. And everybody who locked with my competition, I said, go ahead and lock. They all thought rates were going to go up. They all locked somewhere else. And I called them right after the announcement going, hey, we're a 0.5 point cheaper than the other guy now. You want to come back? They're like, yeah, thank you. How did you know that? Well, doing this for 20 plus years, what the Fed does, the true billionaires, and if you watch Billions, they're hedge fund managers, they know what's going to happen before it happens, and they're betting on what's going to happen. What they don't know is usually
the hedge.
Yeah, hence the hedge. What they don't know is what the Fed's going to say. And basically, the Fed came out and said, hey, the economy's doing well, but it's not doing super well. We don't think we're going to have to increase rates as much as people were betting, say, a week earlier. And that's the reason mortgage rates bounce back. And again, mortgage rates are long-term rates. These are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30-year commitments where the Fed controls overnight banking rate, right? So they did raise overnight rate, but it actually helped mortgage rates positively. So with that, you want to make sure you're working with a local mortgage professional. One of the nice things about Team Home Loans, a branch of Synergy One Lending, Craig Soines, a partner with me and our company, and our whole team is local. We have over 200 employees right here in San Diego. If you do a loan with us, your loan file will never leave San Diego. Bank of America goes to their operations in India. All the banks center it to somewhere else in the world. It might even be in the United States, but none of them are here local in San Diego besides us. So we're here. We're a true home team. You support the community. Guess what's going to happen most likely to values of your home? They'll continue to increase. If you don't support your community, the values of your home will probably go down because they won't have people to be able to afford to be your neighbors. Eventually, you may not have a job, right? And can you imagine, Dave, if people did everything somewhere else, how would your business be, right? You wouldn't have nobody to serve, because we'd have no jobs here. And that's what people don't realize. So I always say stay local. One of the success stories, Kyle, that we recently did last week, I wanted to make sure I shared on the radio with you, is down payment assistance. I know you talked on your video, there's zero down. VA is the best loan out there. If you've served in our military, currently active, we do a ton of VA loans. There's USDA that Kyle talked about in his video, and that's, again, no money down. If you're in the rural areas, Ramona, deep parts of El Cajon, Escondido, Pine Valley, Alpine, things like that, you'll be able to get no money down. But we just closed, this is a grant program from the state of California, just closed it last week. A couple made about $100,000. Is a 3% down payment program. We got a 5% grant from the state. We use that 5% to pay 3% of their down payment. The other 2% for their closing cost. They literally got in with no money down on a conventional loan because they fit in the box. Now, you need roughly a 640 credit score. You can't have over 45% debt to income ratio, and you can't really make more than about 110 grand. But a lot of people, they fall into that, right? So if you're interested, you can hit us up, 619-663-7355, teamhomeloans.com. It is a great program. Ricardo, one of the guys on my team, loves doing down payment assistance. That's his expertise. And Kyle's shaking his head like down payments always has a little bit of stuff with it, but it was a 30-day escrow. It closed on normal times. We didn't have to go do any special programs. It fit in the box. It's all done online now with the grant programs. And if you fit in the box, it works.
Yeah, those are a really, really, really tough program. And there's a lot of lenders that want to do them, but none of them will put the time or the energy in to figure out how to do them.
You're absolutely right.
And so a buyer, comes in and says, hey, I'm going to use this program. And the lender doesn't have a clue what they're doing. And the deal explodes in
or
your
the seller
face.
won't even accept the offer, right? You've seen that as a listing agent. If you don't know somebody knows how to handle it, you're going to shy away from that as a listing agent, right? And I know you got a couple listings coming on. I know the market's extremely crazy. We're at 13-year low inventories. Is that right?
13-year low, even in the high end. So we were looking at some stuff in La Jolla. We got some clients flying into town this weekend. And even at $1 million+, it is at a 13-year low in San Diego. And I say 13 because that's as far back as the stats go that they track. So all the way back to 2004, we're at the lowest level of inventory that we've seen in San Diego.
And that's because we still have jobs here. People, this is the greatest, I believe, the greatest city on the earth to live at and work at. And that's why we're all here. And people still keep coming to San Diego. And we stopped building a while ago. Now the builders are trying to fill in the pockets, but it didn't make sense 7-8 years ago to build. It makes sense now. But as we were talking about off air, Dave, the property in San Diego is so expensive. An acre of land anywhere in prime San Diego City is super, super expensive. I know Kyle's always looking to get into some development, do some stuff. The thing we're starting to see now is people are starting to take their house and split it into 2 units.
Yep.
They're starting to do a lot of things like that because the city and the state is allowing some of that stuff. That's a good tip. What other tips you got for our listeners?
Yeah, the Governor Jerry Brown put some new regulations in place to make it easier to add on a quote granny flat or mother-in-law suite to a home because they've seen that there's a shortage of rentals available right now. And so they wanted to allow people to expand and add that second unit onto their home so that if they do, like in our case, I actually had to buy my mother-in-law a home down the hill so she could be close and help out with the baby.
But if your lot would have allowed, you would have built a little place there if you could have, right?
No, I like having some space. But
you like having her down the hill? Sorry, Mom.
I like that there's 5 minutes between us. I appreciate that. But a lot of people don't want that 5 minutes between us.
I know he was buying houses. I would have moved me and my family over there. My wife could have watched the kid.
But you're right. Because of the expanded family, that's what Governor Brown's trying to do. There's a lot of families that want to be, live together, but they can't live in that 1,000 square foot 2-bedroom house. But the lot's big enough where they can put another 1,000 square foot 2-bedroom house right there.
Right.
And that's what you're talking about.
Exactly. So that's happening right now. And another thing I want to talk about, Jason, we just had, something come up with a client in the past week, and I wanted to share that with the listeners. Then we got 2 minutes to knock this out. So, recently we had a client who came in with an existing lender, and the lender had spat out a pre-approval letter for them. Everything's good to go. They reviewed the payment with the client, and the client was great. They put an offer in on a home, and we're coming down to a week away from closing, and all of a sudden the lender can't do the loan anymore.
Right.
So Jason then steps in, tries to help out to get the loan done, and lo and behold, he can get the loan done, and he can close it in 10 days, which is insane on a VA deal.
Yeah.
Problem is, this other lender didn't have a clue what they were doing and completely misquoted everything on the deal to the point the payment was actually $300 higher than what the lender had quoted them. So there's a lot of lenders out there that will do whatever they can to get some business coming in the door, and then they hope that on the back end, when the truth comes out, that you're still going to move forward with it.
Right.
Unfortunately for this client, that's not the case.
Yeah, it's sad. The person showed lower fire insurance, lower property taxes, lower funding fee, things that you can't control as a lender, but they undershot it, and so it gave the impression to the client that, hey, my payment's going to be like $2,500 versus like $2,800, and when reality hits, $300 is a lot for any of us, right? And so that's something to happen. That's why we want to make sure you're working with a true professional, someone local. Agents, do your homework. Make sure the lender that you're accepting an offer, maybe done a cross approval. If you're a buyer agent, never, ever, ever allow your lender to work with an agent/lender if you're a buyer's agent, right? Unless you're the agent/lender. But I think it's really hard to be an expert in both. So that's our tips for the evening. Kyle, thank you as always. Appreciate you.
And if you want to get connected with Jason, myself, or David Troisi with Audio Video San Diego, give us a call. Shoot us a text, 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next Wednesday.